moving on to our last thing in lesson 5.3, we are sometimes going to have to rename both equations to create some opposites. So you're going to look at the equations and you're going to say, I don't have opposite x's or opposite y's. Even if I tried to multiply one of them by something to create opposite x's, it wouldn't be a very nice something. Or if I had to multiply one of them by something to create opposite y's, it wouldn't necessarily be a very nice something. In other words, when I say nice, I mean an integer, because we try to not work with fractions, right? So let's just first of all rename this, add the opposite, and then we'll start talking about what can we do to help us create opposites by renaming both equations. So it looks like I apparently want us to create opposite b values, okay? So let's create opposite y's, because that's what the b is, how many y's there are. So Haley, what do you suggest we do?
With the first equation?
Yep, what do you want to do with the first equation if we're going to try and create opposite b's? Multiply the first equation by 2, because if we multiply the first equation by 2, that would create a negative 6y, okay? Well then, what's the opposite of negative 6y?
6y.
Positive 6y. So now we need the second equation to have a positive 6y. So what are we going to multiply the second equation by, Jotsy?
Negative 3.
Negative 3?
Positive 3.
Remember
The second equation?
Okay. Wait, remember when we take 2 times negative 3 in this first equation, when we take 2 times negative 3, that's going to create a 6y. A negative 6y, I mean.
Yeah. So
Okay.
then we multiply the second one by 3.
We need this one to be the opposite, but you said negative 3, I think.
Oh, I did.
Okay, yeah. So multiply the second equation by 3, because when we multiply the second equation, that 2y is going to become a 6y, and we will have created our opposites, won't we?
I was trying to say that.
Our opposites would be negative 6y and positive 6y. So that's why that's the thought process we have to go through today. What can I multiply the first equation by? And then the other equation is going to be multiplied by something different so that you can create either opposite x's or opposite y's. And again, by the way, someone in this classroom might decide to eliminate the x's, and someone else might decide to eliminate the y's. Someone might decide to create opposites for the x's, and your table partner might decide to create opposites for the y's. So it doesn't matter which one we create it for. I just happen to choose the y values. Okay, so we're actually going to do that. We're going to show the multiplying. So we have 2 times our 4x plus 2 times our negative 3y and 2 times our negative 13. We have to get these guys renamed.
I forgot you had to do that to every single one of them.
And then here's what we'll do. We'll actually do the other one right beside it, okay? Oops, put the marker in the eraser spot, and that's what happens. Okay, and then the other one we're going to multiply by a positive 3. So we're going to take 3 times 5x plus 3 times 2y equals 3 times 1. So the first equation is getting renamed by multiplying by 2, the second one by multiplying by 3. At this point, you want to look at them and you want to say, do I have some opposites? Are my x's either opposites or are my y's? Because if they aren't, then your multiplying did not work so good. You have to go back and either multiply by a different number or check your multiplication. Because now we can get ready to add them together. So now we'll line them up as an addition problem. And we'll do what we've been doing for days now. solving for x first. Anybody else get a value of -1 for x?
It took me 3 tries, but yeah, I did.
That's what should happen. We should get to x equals -1 if it didn't. We gotta figure out where it's going wrong. Ask questions if you need to. Because now after we do get our x, it says use either of the original equations to solve for y. Why are we using the original? Because we don't need to use the renamed ones. We just are going to have to work with larger numbers because we did some multiplying. So why mess with those? Go back to the original equations and pick one of those two. So which equation do you like better of the original starting two? Which name do you like better? Which equation do you like better? I like the second one better now myself. 5x plus 2y equals 1. So we're going to substitute our x value in and solve for y. What's 5 times -1?
-5.
-5. How do I solve that? What do I do next?
Add 5.
Okay, our negative number is being added to the 2y, so we add its opposite. Add 5 to both sides. And we have our 2y by itself now, and a 6 on the other side.
Okay, I did something totally different.
And what? You want to tell me that you got the same answer? Right? Is that what you want to tell me, or you did get the same answer?
Well, I got the same answer, but
Did you get y equals 3?
yeah,
Did you use the same equation we are, or did you use a different one?
I used the renamed one.
Okay, that's fine. You can use the renamed one.
X plus 6y.
You can use that. It's okay. It's okay. We actually have the 2 original, and then we have the 2 original that got renamed. So we actually have 4 choices of equations to do it from. But I just said, why go with that one where it was 15x's, and now you're going to multiply by a bigger number. You just have to work with larger numbers, then it's all, okay? So, what's our solution for this system of equations? -1, 3. Okay. And again, this tells us what? Where the 2 lines intersect on their graph. Yeah, when the 2 lines are graphed together, they intersect at this point. This is the x value. That makes both equations true at the same time as this y value makes it true at the same time. Okay, let's go to the back side then and practice one more of them before we go to work on some homework here. Okay, you look that over. Help us make a decision. What do you think we should do? It says we can create opposites with either the a values or the b values. I didn't pick for you this time. So, but if you're going to, then we got to decide what we have to multiply by. So, Jossie, which ones do you want to create opposites with? The x's or the y's?
Y.
The y's. You want to create them with the y's, okay? So to create opposite b values, that's really what we're doing. We're taking the b values and we're going to multiply. We're creating opposites there. You can do the x if you want, sure. So what do you want to multiply the first equation by then, Jossie?
7.
7, okay. And then if you multiply the first equation by 7, that would create a 14y, wouldn't it? So then now what do we need in the other equation? A negative 14y. So what would we have to take the second equation by to get a negative 14y? Negative 2. So there's going to be all kinds of options here. Could we have taken the first equation instead times -7? And then we would have had a negative 14y, for which we then need the opposite 14y. Then we would have taken the second equation times the positive 2. So what's really important is that whatever you do, you end up creating those opposites. If you don't, you're not getting anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to take the first equation and multiply it by that 7. And then the other equation, I'm going to multiply by negative 2. So those of you who are working with Jossie's choices, how many of you are? Okay, we're doing the same thing as we are up here. Because if you're not, then your notes won't follow ours. Just keep that in mind. But we all get the same solution still. Yes, we all should still get the same solution. So I'll finish mine off. You finish yours off. I'm feeling pretty good about moving on because I have opposites in my y's, so I'm ready to move on to adding them together now that they've been renamed. So that's going to be my next move, is getting them lined up to add them. So for those of us who eliminated the y's first, it appears our solution for x, we're going to get the x first because we eliminated the y's. We should be getting x equals negative 1. And then once we have our x value, or our y value, whichever one you solve for first, now you have to go back and get the other one, right? Okay. I'm going to go back and look at my equations and say which equation do I think looks easier to deal with. I'm thinking I like the very first one, 5x plus 2y. You can use whichever one you want, but I'm going to use 5x plus 2y equals negative 1.
Does it make a difference if you put them into like the new one?
Into the renamed equation? No, it does not matter. Put them into, in reality, we have 4 choices of equations, don't we? An equation and its new name, the other equation and its new name. So we actually have 4 choices of equations that we could be substituting into. And it appears that our y value is what? Anybody got it done? Anybody agree with me that y is 2? Okay. And so we would say that our ordered pair solution is?
Negative 1, 2.
Negative 1, 2. Okay. So, any questions, any concerns about how you have to rename both equations now instead of just one of them? Again, then your worksheet has room on it to show your work, or you have 6 problems to do, or you can do your work, or you